Hello, Lumineers. We are officially in top 16 of this awesome CCQ here in Arizona, and I am joined by the wonderful Rebecca Quest. Say hello to the crowd.
Hello to the crowd. Hello to Twitch chat. We are super excited to end the evening here with a nice little nightcap of top 16, which it looks like is going to be a pretty fun matchup, actually. I didn't know that. I actually know both of these players, and I didn't know Jordan was on Ruby Amethyst, and I'm very excited to see a Ruby Amethyst deck make it into the top 16. And while we're waiting for our players to get settled and everything, we actually do have the breakdown, Kim, of the top 16.
Right. So I think I was pretty good about my prediction where Amethyst Steel had some good conversion rates. We had five make it into the top 16 for today. Very exciting. I'm very happy, biasly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good deck. It does good things. And then, no surprise, um, the Emerald Sapphire deck is right behind it with three of those decks making it into the top cut.
And then we've had some interesting decks that have made it in. The one that I'm most curious about is an Amber Steel. We had one make it into top
Still.
16.
I was shocked to see that. I know that we had some that were here today, but I did not think that we would see any make top cut. So seeing one here in top 16 is pretty exciting. I know that's a deck that is near and dear to your heart, Kim.
It is. It's not an Amber Steel song. I don't know.
Yes, yes.
It's not the same, but
It's not the same,
I
but
can
you
still
know.
support it from afar. It's
There
it's
you
like Amber
go.
Steele's long lost cousin right now.
Right, yes. The long, long lost cousin. And then for
Right.
Amber Amethyst, there were two players actually who made it in playing that combination. And then for Ruby Amethyst, I believe also two players as well. So,
Yes. Same
yeah,
with Sapphire Steel. Sapphire Steel also had two players making it into top 16.
yeah,
And then
very
another,
diverse. A
yeah,
very diverse top 16.
yeah. And then we also had, kind of a surprise, one Amber Emerald, a dog's deck, I'm assuming, making it into top 16 as well.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, I'm really surprised here to not see very much of that deck represented, but no surprise with what has made it in here. Most, the most represented decks, but we are not going to see any Amethyst Steel or Emerald Sapphire in this top 16 matchup for you. We have the Tim, I believe we've seen on stream. Have we already seen him on stream?
I
Um,
think so.
yeah, so we're going to see this Lanterns deck in action again.
I
And
think we
then,
just saw
but
Tim, right?
yeah, I think he was in that
In that last
round
set.
round 8 match. Yeah, that
Hmm.
he played
Yes, we just
against
got confirmation.
Daniel Q. He
So,
lost that 2-1, but still made it in the top cut here.
yes. And then we have Jordan playing your fave deck, Ruby Amethyst here.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm very excited to see this deck in action again. In this matchup, it'll be interesting to see, I think. Ruby Amethyst can do really well against the Amethyst Amber deck. What are your thoughts, Kim?
I can definitely agree that I think Amethyst Emerald or Amethyst Ruby probably just has a little bit more removal than Amethyst Amber here, that they might just
Yes.
have that edge. And I have pretty excited too to see this deck in action, this Amethyst Ruby one. I've heard it's a very sparkly deck.
Ooh, I like sparkly decks. Sparkly decks
Yeah.
are fun. Yeah, Headless Horseman has a really fantastic an enchanted version, and yeah, there's quite a lot. I'm looking at Jordan's deck list, and wow, interesting. There's only one Hades looking for a deal in this card. That's something that's standing
Oh,
out to me. One copy of Magical Maneuvers. There's like quite a few one-ofs in here, actually.
yeah. Would you call that a toolbox style deck then?
When you have one ofs, a lot of reasons or a lot of times it's just because you're not so much a toolbox, but like you're trying to give yourself one more of something. Like for example, she has one of Belle Accomplished Mystic, right? So you have
Hmm.
four Cheshire Cats, and then having one Belle Accomplished Mystic, it's kind of giving you just like one more card that does a very similar thing, right? So it's
Yes,
actually expanding
that same
on
type of
what
mechanic.
exactly. So starting off here, Jordan being the higher seed does get to go first and playing out a Palace Guard here on turn one. I see some love for Ruby Amethyst in the chat already. I agree with you. And a Royal Guard coming down on Tim's side of the board.
Yes, I'm curious too if this is very similar to a match we were commentating earlier where, do these both these decks have these very like amethyst build with these
Mm-hmm.
additional second ink color spice, or are they both very much their own deck archetypes?
Right. That Diablo, Watchful Raven, one of my favorite new cards in Ruby from Whispers in the Well. I think it's such a fantastic. I, I mean, it's two costs. It is uninkable, but having a 3/3 that quests for two on Tune 2 is just awesome. I love it so
Yes.
much.
Yes, definitely. It's so strong. But like it makes sense it's uninkable. It just has to. Otherwise this card would be totally broken.
Right, exactly. Yes. Skater Mim, skating in.
Right? She's skating in, giving additional strength when a glimmer is challenging. And we have a cat has made its appearance. Cheshire Cat has entered the board on Jordan's side.
Quite inexplicable. One of the things I love about that Diablo and kind of what you're seeing here from Jordan is that it allows the Ruby Amethyst deck to kind of get off to a quick start, gaining lore early, and which is not necessarily something that Ruby Amethyst always has done in the past. You did see it in versions where there was like the Flynn Sisu, those kind of
Hmm.
decks, but a lot of Ruby Amethyst wasn't necessarily concerned with gaining a lot of lore early, but
Right.
a lot of these
Very
decks will have this, and she does looks like she does have two of the Sisu Emboldened Warrior in this deck. That's another card that can give you some early lore as well.
right. And we see that Tim is starting to really think about his cave. Like, what do I want to do? What do I want to challenge? Which it looks like they're going to possibly by playing that action card, giving additional strength, and drawing another card, looking at their options. There's a lot of math here involved. You have this card, you have Skater Mim here, you
Yes,
have, the ability from um this is Palace card. I don't know which card this is. The octopus.
interesting. Yeah, so the hypnotic strength was that must have been played on the Mim. Yes.
Hmm.
Yep. So then able to take care of both the Palace Guard and the Diablo. Someone called the Madam Mim tiny adversary, we call her Skitter Mim. Someone said Admiral Mim.
Mim. I like
I
that.
love it.
I might have to start using that. Mim.
Yes. And then Tim following all of that up with a Rafiki and another Diablo coming down. Love to see those Diablos here on the board. Tim not finding a lantern yet. I
Hmm.
know that that's something that you kind of want to see to help you play cheat out some cards earlier, but not no lanterns yet on Tim's side.
Right, and Jordan choosing to boost the Cheshire Cat, moving that damage that just came from the octopus and moving
Right.
it onto Rafiki.
Yep, she says you want that damage here, and I'm gonna put it over there.
Right? If you have the ink, it's like, why not?
Yep, yep. Iago spectral giant spectral parrot coming down here. This is an evasive 4/6 character, so a large character. And Genie over on Jordan's side, drawing a card, drawing into that Whisper of Vanessa. I love that Ursula card. If she's boosted, she quests for three and such, and is evasive. Such a wonderful card.
Definitely super, super strong, especially in this matchup.
Thinking here, do I want to quest? There's that Rafiki and Iago on that side of the board, which could take out both the genie and the Diablo. So choosing not to quest and passing it over to Tim. Oh,
And a jack-o'-lantern comes down, removing the genie.
yeah, that horseman has stricken,
Stricken,
strikes.
stri
Yes,
he striked.
he
I know,
struck.
I
Yeah, the horseman
know.
strikes. One of the few removal options in this Amethyst Amber deck, you have the Horseman Strikes, which is a fantastic one, as well as World's Greatest Criminal Mind. But the Horseman Strikes, especially against a deck like this, any Amethyst deck really, because there's so many evasive cards, the Horseman Strikes, really great. And then also bonus of getting to draw a card.
Right, definitely. Like you said, Horseman Strikes is just so valuable in this matchup specifically, or any Amethyst matchup, because of how many evasives there are.
Yeah.
And so I wonder now if Jordan, is in this matchup being like, do I need to be a little bit more conservative when it comes to how many evasives I'm playing? Because how many Horseman Strikes does Tim have?
I
How
believe
many how
there's
many
four. Yeah, there's four.
mm-hmm. Right, and I believe he has a second one in his hand from what I can tell.
It looks like it. Yeah.
We might as well just make today Halloween with how many Horseman Strikes we've been seeing.
Right. And I think that's the league promo, the weekly play promo that he
Yeah,
has.
yeah, fancy.
Magical
Ooh, and I think I
maneuvers.
see an enchanted Demona in Jordan's hand.
Oh, shiny.
Fancy,
Mhm.
shiny. I appreciate.
Yeah, so magical maneuvers is a card that is there's just I think a one of in Jordan's deck if I remember correctly. Yeah,
I
just a
believe
one
so.
of. And magical maneuvers, you bounce one of your own characters to hand in order to, I believe, exert characters on your opposing side of the board.
And there's that second Horseman Strikes, getting rid of another
Yeah,
genie.
that horseman strikes in hand, like you said. Yeah, so you get to exert a chosen character when you play magical maneuvers. We got that Whisper of Vanessa still in Jordan's hand, along with a little Tinkerbell and that shiny Demona, like you were saying. And she just drew into a Cheshire Cat. I can't quite see what is in Tim's hand. Not sure if you can
No, I
see.
can't. Yeah, but it's a very interesting back and forth we have going on pretty early in the game at 5-1 war, but both opponents have fairly empty boards.
Yeah, we are putting that Ursula down. And since there was one ink in the inkwell, we did go ahead and boost it as well. Inking for turn to put down the Tinkerbell fancy footwork. Did you see Sarah's? You saw Sarah's cosplay of the
Yes,
Tinkerbell at
we
DLC
did so
Richmond.
many
Oh
photos
my
together.
goodness.
So
She
cute.
looked so good. It was so fabulous.
Yes, she just creates wonderful cosplays. We even Disney bounded together with our Minnie and Daisy bound on Sunday. Adorable. All right, and now we have a Hades entering the board state, targeting that Ursula. And I think Jordan said, Tim, you can draw two cards.
Yeah.
Tim decides to play a lantern, opening up the board or opening up the possibility for Tim to play some bigger glimmers in this game.
There's that Demona coming down, and then each player can draw up to three. Tim already has three cards in hand, so he doesn't get any more cards, but Jordan gets to fill her hand up here. And then, of course, also exerts those characters on the other side of the board. So hopefully she can do something here.
Right, because that Vanessa does
Ah,
have evasive. It has been boosted.
yep.
And like I suspected, take out that Iago, get rid of that bird.
Get rid of that bird.
I wonder. No, they just played Demono, correct?
She just played
Yeah.
Demona, so can't do anything there. Questing with Tinkerbell. I think really wanting to push the lore here as much as possible. trying to see what's in Tim's hand. He does have
In
another
Tim's
lantern, which it looks
lantern.
like he's gonna play. Maybe thinking about
Maybe.
it.
Right. Two lanterns isn't bad. And there we go. We play a
Yeah.
second lantern.
Ramp light. Right?
Ramp
Yeah.
light.
Yes, it's ramp light, being able to exert and play out some characters earlier. Ah, World's Greatest Criminal Mind. That's that other removal that Tim has access to in Amber, and being able to sing that to banish that Demona off the board. Really nice.
hmm And then exert all characters. Jordan did get to draw one additional card from that Demona play. And we have a guidebook being played as well, allowing Tim to potentially draw two more cards later in this game.
Yeah, and what's nice about this is he had two ink left, and maybe he didn't have a character he could play, can't quite see in his hand, maybe another Horseman Strikes, it looks like. But
hmm
when you split up the cost of an item, like this, or even with the Whisper cards when you play and then boost later, when you split the cost like that across turns, it's actually you're getting a lot of value out of the ink that you spend. So playing it now and then being able to exert one ink later to draw those two cards is really really valuable. And
Exactly. It's like layaway for Disney
it
Lorcana.
is. I love that. It's layaway. Exactly.
Right. Pay a little now by, paying to play, this card and then, pay to ink later to get the ability.
hmm
Truly layaway of Disney Lorcana.
Yes. We saw a white rose go into Jordan's Inkwell, which is not necessarily a card that you always see played in these decks, but I love that addition. It is the Demona Wars, like somebody said in the chat. You have Demona on one side, Demona on the other, Demona again, drawing cards, exerting characters, and Jordan now thinking, do we want to quest? Do we want to challenge? We are going to challenge into Hades with two characters there, get that off the board, and then questing with Vanessa. Of course, she is boosted, so she quests for three, and Jordan now sitting at nine lore, and Tim is at one.
Tell one. And the nice thing too about Vanessa is that because she's boosted, she has evasive, and Tim currently does not have evasive, but he does have that Horseman Strikes.
He does, which I'm sure he will deploy here because that Whisper of Vanessa questing for three each turn is not something that Tim can afford to go on very long at all. He does have a Cheshire Cat in hand as well. I can't quite make out any of the other cards. Curious if he's also going to pop the book here to draw a couple more cards. It doesn't look like he's going
I don't
to.
think so. I think he's really utilizing those lanterns to pay two less for, and also looks like
Ah,
exerting that Demona.
yeah, which is unfortunate for Jordan because Jordan does have three cards in hand. And so Demona will not be able to ready on her next turn.
Right? I wonder if the Demonas might potentially trade.
They won't they won't
No,
trade because they're
trade.
5/6. Yeah.
Got it.
Boosting the Cheshire Cat, moving two. Okay. Interesting. That's really nice actually because if we're able to use the Cheshire Cat boost to get that Whisper of Vanessa off the board, now he can save that Horseman Strikes for something later that Jordan might play that he needs to take care of that's evasive, right? Save
Right.
that card for when it's really needed.
Right. Especially something like a genie or a Dumbo even.
Mhm. Somebody said it in chat, so I have to sing it. You know what's funny is I never thought about this until Baker was singing it at DLC Richmond when we were chatting backstage, and he was singing my Demona," and Headless Horseman, the enchanted version coming down,
Right. Jordan said
banishing.
you were playing
Oof.
Horseman Strikes. I'm gonna play the actual Horseman here.
Yes, yes. Getting rid of that Elsa off the board and then that genie as well. So now there's another evasive character, so a possible future target for that Horseman Strikes that Tim has in hand.
Right. So interesting, how much ink they have in their inkwell. You might be thinking that these players are
hmm
playing Sapphire right now.
There is a lot of ink.
I think they're
Five,
just really
nine,
trying.
10. Jordan has 10 ink right now.
Yeah, possibly just trying to utilize the, you know, um, ink as much as possible to have less cards in hand so that my Demona can be ready, keep that Demona
Yeah.
protected.
Yep, and there we do see the horseman strikes coming down to say goodbye to Jeannie. Your wish is not fulfilled. So
And that is the
sorry.
third Horseman Strikes now in the discard.
Oh, is it
So
the
maybe,
third one?
yeah,
Okay.
so maybe Jordan might be feeling a little comfortable if they've been counting the jack-o'-lanterns, being like, you know what, maybe I can start playing more evasives because they only have one left.
Yeah, we're gonna get 5 damage onto each Demona with that challenge there. We are going to boost and then move damage over. Maybe anticipating. Oh, okay. No, so we are not. We are going to move 2 damage to the Headless Horseman. And the Headless Horseman, you can banish a character when he's played, but also he has
Hmm.
another ability that each time that you ban an opposing character is banished during your turn, all your characters get +1 strength. So it can do a lot. So
So
smart
yeah,
here to get that
Tim's like,
off.
let's get rid of that horseman. He's a little bit too scary for this board.
Yeah, especially that enchanted version. Very scary.
Right. So shiny, it's almost blinding.
I know. And there's that fourth, I think, horseman strikes in
Yeah,
Tim's
I
hand.
see it. I see it
Hmm.
in the back there.
We do also have a world's greatest criminal mind hiding in his hand that I see. I'm trying to make out some of these characters that he has. I think I saw another Junior Woodchuck guidebook, which he had one out on the board, and he did go ahead and pay one to banish that to draw an additional 2 cards.
Hmm. Yeah, and he does have those lanterns ready to use as well in order to pay two less for the next glimmer he plays.
Eilonwy into the inkwell here. So he has his final 3 ink, exerting that. I can't see what is in the back, that last card in the back of his hand.
I think that's the Horseman Strikes.
Ah,
That
that may
very
be the
last.
Horseman
Yeah,
Strikes.
that's
Yeah,
the very
yeah.
last card.
Okay, and we're gonna hard cast World Greatest Criminal Mind to get rid of that Demona. That's the second time he's gotten rid of a Demona with that World's Greatest Criminal Mind. And
Yeah,
that was a
very.
card that was reprinted and Fabled.
It was. I wonder if some people are kind of like, ah, why was it reprinted?
Yeah, coming in handy here for Tim.
Let's see, but I see that Jordan has another Headless Horseman. And
Hmm.
what is it that they just
A
played? I can't.
Lumiere. Lumiere.
Lumiere!
This is the one that gives all of your other characters an additional strength. And we have another Diablo also coming down behind that. Yeah, Lumiere is such a fantastic card. Now we do have the Cheshire Cat that is dry that we could choose to do something with. We can boost even if we wanted, but I don't think there's any reason to do that. There's 3 damage on Demona. Probably want that to stay there.
Hmm.
And we're gonna run into Demona to finish her off. Why not?
Why not? Get rid of the Demonas.
I think we saw 3 Demonas so far on Tim's side of the board, if I remember correctly. And there's been like 2
Have
on
we?
Jordan's side. Or maybe it's 3 on Jordan's side and 2 on Tim's side. There's been a lot of
There's been a lot
Demonas.
of Demonas. There's been a lot of
So
Horseman Strikes.
many.
So many.
So many pumpkins flying, gargoyles and pumpkins.
Right. I feel like we've also been seeing so many cats here too. Feels very like spooky Halloween vibes, honestly.
Yes, very much so. Very spooky.
Very
Nope.
fitting for Whispers in the Well meta.
Mm-hmm. And Tim just really able to find some answers here. And it seemed like Jordan was kind of running away for a while there, going
Right,
ahead and
but
playing that Junior Woodchuck guidebook and then drawing into 2 more cards. I think he got a Dumbo and a Cheshire Cat, I believe. Oh,
oh,
this is the swooping strike.
swooping strike coming in and strikes another bird.
Diablo was not ready for that.
No, Diablo just can't beat a dragon.
Yeah, so you have to choose your opponent chooses and exerts one of their ready characters. And yeah, I love the art on that one because the the dragon or the Gwithin, I think is what it's called. He's like grabbing the
Hmm.
pig in the
Yes.
art. It's so fantastic.
All right, and then Jordan does play a white rose, getting an additional lore, but it looks like they no longer have cards in hand.
No cards in hand, and we're moving some damage over by boosting the Cheshire Cat to get rid of that headless horseman. And another Cheshire Cat coming down.
And Dumbo, ninth wonder of the universe, coming down on Tim's side of the board as well.
Yeah, Jordan really is going to be needing to find some cards,
I think that was a good
way to
top deck,
draw.
though.
Demona is not a bad, if you're going to top deck a card, not bad because not only is that a great character to put on board, she quests for two, big body, but also she gets to draw three cards now, which is exactly what she needed right now. She needed to refill her hand, find some more options to stay ahead here.
Right, and of course it's the Enchanted Demona. What a wonderful top deck.
No spicy, sparkly, sparkly, spicy. Now, Elsa doesn't have any targets. Everything's already exerted, but Elsa does have Rush. She could go into that Cheshire Cat that already has one damage. The White Rose. White Rose was played last turn. That's right. Yes. Demona and Elsa were this turn.
Hmm. And then passes it over to Tim. The one downside with Demona is that even though Jordan got to refill their hand, it also helped refill Tim's hand too. He got to draw an additional card. And I think that's the final Horseman Strikes there.
I think so. Taking care of that Elsa that came down. We are exerting one to use Dumbo's ability, making history, exert, and draw a card and gain one lore.
And
And
then
what's
playing
better than one Dumbo?
the two Dumbos. It's going to be a pretty fun circus over there.
Yes.
And using two more ink to play a guidebook and banishing it to draw two cards right away.
Yeah, Jordan taking a look through here. My guess
She's,
is she's looking for those horseman strikes.
I was about to say, counting those Horseman Strikes, being like, has it been four? Just got to make sure.
Yes.
Can I play my evasives now, please?
I believe also that it's open deck list, right? For a top 16. So they probably did get to take a look at each other's deck list. So she knows
Hmm.
how many are in there.
Right. And another Headless Horseman. I think that's the
Love to
third
see
one we've
it.
seen now.
Yep, that shiny headless man with his scary jack-o'-lantern.
Hmm. All the jack-o'-lanterns in this game.
Yes.
I really want pumpkin pie after this.
Yes. Does the headless horseman like pumpkin spice lattes? That's what I want to
That's what I want to know.
know.
That's what I want even more now. Pumpkin spice latte. I'll try to find one tomorrow. Have that on stream ready to go.
There you go. Using Dumbo's ability here, Jordan at 10 lore, Tim inching his way up. He's now at 5 because, of course, every time he uses that ability from Dumbo, he gets not just to draw a card, but he also gains one lore.
Right, and this is the
Oh
part where
no,
we
wow.
oh,
Look at
a
this.
third Dumbo, a
Wow.
third ninth wonder of the universe, and a third lantern. I feel like with this game we're seeing everything in threes and fours.
Wow. Yeah. And another evasive card coming down. This is the Iago, the illusion Iago, giant spectral parrot. And Jordan needs needs some answers here. Needs
Is
some
that gonna
more.
be
I
the
think
fourth headless
that's
horseman?
a headless horseman. Yes. And unfortunately, there's no target for that headless horseman because it has to be you can banish a character with strength 2 or less, and everything
Oh,
on the board there has 3 strength or
or
more.
more.
So unfortunately, not the best top deck here in this situation.
Right, and this is where the game might take a big turn. Jordan was very much quickly questing away with it, but Tim has all these cards now, and they're building They're building up their board state and they have all these Dumbos to
Hmm.
draw even more cards. And there is no be prepared in this meta.
No, no, there is not. I mean, Headless Horseman does quest for two. So if she puts that out on the board, that is another, character that can quest and help her inch her way up there to win. But there's only, without getting the ability, it only has two willpower, so easy to take care of. And did she just pass turn?
I
She
think
did.
so. I
Yeah,
think so.
no questing, nothing. We are gonna activate Dumbo here.
So do you think that was the play though? Because part of me is like, would I have just played it even though it didn't have anything that could banish because of the strength? Isn't it potentially better to have another Glimmer on board?
Yes, possibly. Um, yeah, I would love to know kind of Jordan's thinking there. What I'm surprised by is that she didn't, you know, decide to quest with Demona. I mean, Demona would ready because she only has the one card in hand, and even though Headless Horseman would probably get taken out, they would have traded into something, and then she would have gotten the lore. But now, unfortunately, Demona there going into the discard pile with World's Greatest Criminal Mind, and so
And that is
I
the third time in a row that's happened. Demona taken
yeah.
out by Greatest Criminal Mind. Like I said, this game is full of
Radigan.
seeing things in threes.
Yes. Radigan does not like that gargoyle at all. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen her maybe quest there and forced him to do something about it. We are able to banish Genie here, but man, Tim's side of the board really building up.
Intimidating.
It's very intimidating. Jordan with her own Dumbo. So now, unfortunately, no way for her to draw cards. There are no other evasives on the board yet. She did get rid of that Iago by targeting it with that hypnotic strength. And Iago, being an illusion character, has that vanish keyword. But still, it's Tim's side of the board is quite intimidating.
Definitely. And we'll see how this goes. How many cards does Tim have in hand currently? I can't tell.
Just two, I believe. It looks like there's just two in hand.
Hmm.
So here the question is, yeah, do you quest with that headless horseman that's dry, or even with the Rafiki? There's nothing you can challenge into, but do you want to keep pushing that lore? And she does decide to quest here with headless horseman, the terror of Sleepy Hollow.
Yes. And Jordan now has one, two, three, four, five, six lore potentially on the board. So still in a pretty decent position. However, Tim
Hmm.
has an army of evasives,
Oh my goodness,
an army of
yes.
elephants, an army of cats. A
Cats.
genie has entered.
Yeah, there is a lot going on here. And I am sure with that Headless Horseman exerted that he's not going to let it stay on the board. We can also exert something else here, exerting the Dumbo and plenty of evasive characters that can go into it. I'm
Right,
sure
I'm
we're going to see a
sure
boost here. Yep,
we're gonna see a
a
boost. Makes
yep.
sense.
Yeah, we're gonna take care of the Headless Horseman, boost again, move the damage over to Dumbo, really cleaning up Jordan's side of the board. There's just so much going on here with Tim's side of the board. Like you said, that we might be turning the tables here.
Right? I think those Dumbos especially are just what's causing Tim to not just gain lore, but be able to draw so many cards.
Yeah, and Jordan unfortunately hasn't been able to find a way to get more cards in her hand. Top decks a bell and says, "Let's go to game two." Off to a great start for Jordan and, got up to 9, 10 lore. And while Tim was still down there at 0, 1, but then, she spent all the cards in her hand and really wasn't. I feel like that's really kind of what got Jordan stuck here was that she wasn't able to refill her hand, find more cards to give her draw. And then every time she had a character on the board that had evasive, the horseman kept striking again and
Yes,
again.
kept on striking. He struck. He struck too much.
Yes, so many pumpkins flying. Pumpkin
For
Wars over
sure.
here.
Pumpkin Wars. I am ready. Someone said in chat pumpkin pie cheesecake.
Oh, there we
I might
go.
have to go get that later.
Yeah. Also, I think that the Demonas that she had, because she had two or three that all got taken out by World's Greatest Criminal
Three,
Mind.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Tim just felt like they, got all the answers they needed to deal with Jordan's board and then, got fortunate enough
Mm-hmm.
to pull, all these Dumbos as well and all these Cheshire Cats to, if there was damage around, boost the Cheshire, move the damage onto Jordan's side to clear the board, on top of just being able to draw so many cards from Dumbos. And they also, I believe, got at least two of those guidebooks
Yes, they did.
to draw even more cards. Really showcasing that Amethyst drawing cards is good.
Yes. Cosine. There is
Hmm.
about 25 minutes left in the round. We are still on timed rounds here. This is top 16 for those of you just joining us. This is Top Cut Games in Arizona, the State 48 CCQ, and also a 5K. So not only is there some cool cash prizes and packs and promos, but also the winner of this tournament gets an
We're seeing,
invite.
yes, very, very exciting, very, very high pressure here, because this is single elimination now. So if
Oh,
you,
Tim missing his one drop here.
ooh,
Unfortunately, Rafiki down on Jordan's side, and she does have a two drop as well. Wonderful start here with a Diablo here on turn two, which is, I mean,
this is the start you want to
this is
see.
the start you not only do you have a Rafiki and a Diablo down, but you have your opponent didn't missed their one drop and you're on the play. That I'm sure is making Jordan feel
Right.
pretty good.
And these are two decks that are very much heavily reliant on like this back and forth sort of tempo. There is no Sapphire, there is no ramping here. There is jokingly the ramp light with the lanterns, but it's not quite the same. And
Not the
Tim,
same.
right, and we do see a Avril Mim make the board.
Yes, this tiny adversary, such a great card, but not necessarily the card that you want to see here on turn two with nothing else on the board, right? Because she gives your other characters Challenger +1, and there's nothing to give Challenger to.
Yeah, almost complements the Lumiere that Jordan's playing.
Yeah, it really does.
Tim may have manifested, but I'm seeing at least two Horseman strikes in his hand.
Oh boy. Jordan, I know we'll be on the lookout for those.
And speaking of Lumiere, Lumiere enters the Inkwell, and we're going to play another Diablo and a Tank. I'm wondering if Jordan's strategy this time is maybe let's not do so many evasives because if Horseman Strikes is here, I
Mm,
might get struck out. And
yeah.
instead, maybe try to widen my board as much as possible, especially with these high strength characters.
Yeah, and if you got a really wide board, then Tim doesn't really have answers for unless he also has a wide board to deal with all the characters. There's not an easy way to deal with a really wide board in that Amber Amethyst deck.
Right, but it's so tough after missing a one drop your first turn. You're really just trying to catch up at this point.
Hmm. Yeah, we did see that Madame Mim trade in to the first Diablo that was exerted. And that Alanwi, now she's only a 2/1. She quests for one, but she has support. And I know that we've seen in Sapphire decks how instrumental Basil can be, the one drop practice detective, that two strength that you can give to another character for support can come in really handy. So it'll be interesting to see if Alanwi's support comes into play here on Tim's side.
Right, and I've seen some friendly fire here happening in the
In the
chat.
chat, yes. Yeah. We are friends. This is
Oh, a
I love this card.
Sisu!
I love this Sisu. Sisu, empowered sibling, and she quests for two, and she gets +1 strength for each card in your opponent's hand. So Tim has like 6 cards in hand or something like that. So
So
normally just a
this
1/4, but Now,
This
right now,
Cece's
she's
strong.
yeah,
This
7 4.
Cece went to the gym.
Yeah, she's lifting weights.
She's lifting weights. And even too, Tim may have played a genie, but he drew another card, still keeping that Susu strong. I wonder if
Hmm.
Sisu is, right now this game feels like a battle of the strengths. There's so much challenging, so much
Mm.
giving strength and support. I felt like last game was very much battle of the evasives. But I'm
Yeah,
curious if Sisu is also a way to keep Tim in check potentially, of just like, hey, you may have all
yeah,
these cards, but you're making my Sisu really, really strong. So if you try to play something like a Demona,
yeah,
one of these bigger characters, Sisu can just easily clear it.
yeah. And Jordan's hand is running pretty low. She only has 2 cards in hand, 4 ink in her inkwell.
Yeah, Jordan has not really run into a lot of their draw, any card that helps them draw anything like genies or, Demonas, anything like that that's just been non-existent. However, they did just play magical maneuvers.
Magical maneuvers. There is a 1 of in her deck, and she has used it both games. She bounced back that Diablo, and I was going to say, I bet she's going to just replay it because she has the ink, and sure enough, she did.
Hmm.
Which is also nice because that protects that Diablo from possibly getting challenged or something. But you're right. Like, we have not seen any evasive characters on Jordan's side of the board yet this game. And Tim holding on to those horseman strikes doesn't have
Just in
any
case.
targets for it.
Right? Is this a point where Tim is just like, you know what? I need to just, you know, ink this Horseman Strikes and move on.
Right, yes. Huge shout out to JDZ and all the friends joining us. Raid the Collectors Expo. There was a tournament going on there, and it looks like your crew has joined us. We are here at the CCQ at Top Cut Games in Arizona. And well, we're not there. Kim and
We're not
I
there.
are we're on
We're
the West
we're at home. We're
Coast.
here on the West Coast.
We are, and we are, this is our top 16 match. And we are in game 2. Tim took game 1 in this ruby amethyst and amethyst amber matchup here. We're
All
locked
right.
in, JDZ. We are locked in.
We are locked in. It is the end of the day. We are getting ready to see who moves on as the top 8 for early tomorrow morning. And you know what? Diablo here is holding up the fort.
He
Here on a
is,
lonely
yeah.
quest
Sisu and Tinkerbell did not last very long, but Jordan already at 13 ink and
for 13
oof,
lore.
I mean, sorry, 13 lore. Yes. Ah, that Elsa though coming in.
Tim inking another Horseman Strikes. I think they're just like, you know what? I don't think. But however, Jordan's just like, surprise, Genie.
Surprise! Surprise, Genie. She does also have an Ursula, Whisper of Vanessa in hand, but she's been holding on to for a few turns. And yeah, I'm curious if we'll see that come down to play. Horseman Strikes.
Another
We
one. This
knew
is the
it. We
third
knew.
one.
Wow. See, I'm
Tim.
so curious to know if Jordan is trying to fish out those horseman strikes so that way she can play Vanessa. And hopefully she's hoping that she'll avoid, that Whisper of Vanessa getting targeted by horseman strikes because questing for 3, an evasive that quest for 3 is really good. Ooh, she also has a Demona in hand.
Yes, and the Demona might be good just to ink whatever's left, refill the hand, try to find more answers, especially because Tim has 4 cards in hand, so it's not like he's drawing additional cards either. And that seems
Yeah.
the play that Jordan is doing.
Demona also questing for 2, which is really going to help her out here, sitting at 13 lore, Tim at 6. He does have 4 lore on the board here.
Right, and Jordan is kind of at the point of,
Oh,
ooh,
swooping strike.
sweeping strike coming in, swooping and striking.
Swooping and striking.
And Tim plays another cat. Curious if they will boost to move the
Move
damage
some of the
onto
damage.
Demona.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't. What's a bummer here with that swooping strike targeting Demona is that Jordan had 3 cards in hand, and so now she can't quest, sing, challenge, nothing. Demona's doing her no good this turn because she cannot ready because of that stone by day.
Yes, it's very Tim very much knew what he was doing with the swooping strike.
Very much. Yes, yes.
Let's see, but it looks like Jordan has Dumbo, Vanessa. Trying to figure out what else is in there.
Yep, going ahead and playing the Dumbo here. And also something else. Also another Diablo.
No idea, but we've seen plenty of this bird this game.
My favorite bird.
I think that's
Yeah.
all really Jordan can do because Demona unfortunately cannot ready due to having those three cards in hand initially.
Yeah. She may be wondering if she wants to ink this turn. Perhaps not. Now she only has two cards in hand, so next turn Demona will ready. But Tim here is closing the gap on lore, so he has now inched his way up to 10 lore, right behind Jordan's 13, and has that horseman
There's that
strike.
that fourth horseman strike.
Oh
Tim just
man.
knows how to manifest these horseman strikes.
He's hurling pumpkins across the playboard now. This is Jordan going, how many of those were there? I think maybe I
Literally.
only saw two. I don't know. There made was
Well,
it?
he inked two,
Oh, he has also inked
and then he
some.
played. Yeah, he
Okay.
inked two, and then he played one earlier, and then played this one.
Okay. And now we're gonna do some questing.
That's why probably Jordan was just like, "How are you seeing all of them?"
Yep.
And then
And Tim
Tim
now
just jumping ahead to
15.
15.
And that is three, four, five, six lore on the board
Right, so
on
Jordan's got
Tim's
to do
side.
something to stall this
Mhm.
this win next turn.
And Jeannie and Elsa both have evasive. I don't know what else she has in hand. She does have a Jeannie. I don't think I see an Elsa. If she, gosh,
Has maybe like a headless horseman, maybe to remove the genie.
oh, a headless horseman would be fantastic right
Classic.
now. That would be it. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like she has that in hand. We're gonna go ahead and go into one of the Cheshire Cats.
Maybe they have a Cheshire Cat so they can move around some damage. Maybe get rid of the Rafiki, is my guess, or also challenge.
We need to get one more lore off the board in order to survive another turn. There's still five there. Tim at 15. And we have the bell in
Oh,
hand. Okay, so we're going to move three damage onto the Elsa, getting that off the board. So she will live to see another turn here.
but it is a very, very close call here.
Yeah, that accomplished Mystic. See, being able, I mean, Cheshire Cat is fantastic and you can do it each turn as long as he's on the board with that boost. But
Right,
being able to move that three damage is so
right.
powerful. Going to
Well,
go
the
ahead
thing
and
is,
quest
too, is that
here.
Tim is playing Amethyst, and there is potential that Tim, I would have to look at the deck list if they have anything that is instant lore gain.
I don't think I saw White Rose in his list. There's nothing that I see that's instant lore in his deck. No. Come on. I mean, I'm rooting for both players, right?
Hmm.
I'm rooting for both, but you know me, Kim. I love a Ruby Amethyst deck, and
Yes.
I wanna see it. But man, I have to tell you though, this Amber Amethyst deck
It
has
holds its own.
surprised me. Yeah, it
It
has surprised
has.
me. And I think it's great. It's a ink pair that a lot of people for the longest time it was just like, oh, that's just like hyper aggro and not, up there in terms of meta decks. But I think right today we've seen multiple times on stream how strong this deck can be.
Yes, definitely. This deck has showed up multiple times, and I was not an Amber
Mm.
Amethyst believer, but we
But
are. I might be one now.
okay.
All right, boost. I think they're gonna possibly finish.
Yep.
Okay, choosing to finish the Diablo.
Yep. And then challenging with Rafiki to finish off Bell. And then questing for two. Up to 17 at Cheshire Cat. We can also quest. Feel like why not,
Yes, why
right? Yes.
not? It's there.
And now Tim says, I have game on board. Jordan, what do you have?
Right, and I don't think
Hypnotic
Jordan.
strength. Oh man.
I have an hypnotic strength. Hey, but that
Oh.
could potentially draw a card. Same with Genie.
Yep. Get a headless horseman or something. She's looking. She's got a Vanessa Genie. Oh
Ah, a
man,
little
there it
too
was.
late.
There it was.
Was
We needed that
just
headless horseman
one
one or
draw
two cards
sooner.
draw sooner. And Tim, this is our top 16 match here. Ruby Amethyst versus Amber Amethyst, and Tim taking the win here, 2-0 top 16. And these are two players who know each other. They are friends, playing a match, two Californians playing a top 16 match in Arizona.
Yes. Still such
So
an accomplishment.
close.
Everyone who made it
Congrats.
in top
Yeah.
16 got a certain amount for the cash prizing, and they also got 6 packs. They also got the Mulan promo from this
Oh,
Disney
nice.
Lorcana Challenge season. So Jordan is not walking away empty-handed at all.
No, not at all. And congratulations to all the players who made top 16. This was such an amazing day. Thanks for everyone for joining us. Before we have some things that we can chat about before you all go. But if you want to know the meta breakdown, I wanted to touch on that first because
Yes.
this is the only, I believe, or maybe there's two. There's two Amethyst decks that made it into top 16.
Right. And this was one of the 2 Ruby Amethyst decks that made it into top 16 as well.
Okay, so two of each of those. The biggest representation here in top 16, though, was probably to no one's surprise, Amethyst Steel. We had 5 players, and then there were 3 players in top 16 piloting the Emerald Sapphire deck.
Yes, I'm very curious if maybe might be too soon if we'll get a how what decks moved on to top 8 before we sign out for the evening. Because I would
Yeah.
like to talk about that, but it also might be
Right?
something where it's like
Yeah.
they gotta data collect a little.
Right? Yeah. Those were super fun games to watch, and man, that was so close, so
Wow, just
close.
literally one card draw away, and that could have changed it. That could have changed it
It
so dramatically.
Yes, I just also, and somebody said it in chat, I cannot believe that Tim saw all 4 Horseman
Literally,
strikes
both
in both
games.
games. Like that is incredible.
It
there's
really,
so much variance in Disney Arcana. You have max 4 cards in your deck, and you hope that you see all of them sometimes, but you usually don't,
mhm.
right? You usually don't. But
Usually don't.
in
Yeah,
this case,
Tim
oh man.
manifested for him. I think it was maybe
Yes.
good karma after losing the final
Right, the
round of
previous
Swiss.
round.
Yeah, that maybe it was like
Yeah.
this is his time.
Yeah. For those of you who are joining or maybe just tuning in, we just wrapped up top 16. This is a CCQ. We're getting ready to wrap up for the night, but we're hoping before we let you go that we're looking to see if we can get you the top 8 decks. And then tomorrow morning, we have Andy and Kirsten from Rules of Villainy who are going to be casting top 8 on through the finals to find the CCQ winner for Top Cut Games.
Definitely. And then afterwards, you can join us and Brando for casting the Infinity event shortly after the CCQ.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I mean,
Are you ready to see Be
Infinity,
Prepared?
I am. I'm so ready. So many shenanigans in Infinity because
I'm ready for Amber Steele's song. It calls to me. I'm ready.
he calls me, right? Yes, we're gonna have Rapunzel's back. We're gonna have Be Prepared back.
One
We're
Drop
gonna have,
Cinderella. It's gonna be so good.
but we are also gonna have things like Flaversham back and
For
Fortesphere.
Sphere
So,
and Prince John and
oh
all
goodness
those
gracious,
cards.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't actually think there is a still match going. I think there's at least one match still going here in top 16. So it sounds like we're not going to be able to get you the top 8 deck lists, but there's some spicy stuff
There
And
is.
the thing that I love, Kim, is how diverse it is.
Yes, the Whispers in the Well meta has been so much fun to not only cast but to personally experience. I fortunately got to play at DLC Richmond, and we have set champs coming up, and it's been so
Mm-hmm.
much fun. Some people are like, oh, there's certain decks that are dominating, but people are being creative, and we have some pretty interesting decks. Even looking at our top
Yeah,
16, it was just so diverse and so fun.
yeah.
Like,
Only one dog's deck though in top 16 here
kind
at
of
Top Cut
shocking.
Games. Yeah, it wasn't when you look at there's 142 players here to begin with, and it wasn't even a very large share of the room at all when you looked
No, it
at
was only a
all.
couple.
Yeah.
I believe it was like the fourth or fifth most represented deck. Very,
Yeah.
very exciting that at least one pushed its way all the way through.
Yeah. But I know that you're saying Amethyst Steel might take it here, right? Is that your
I'm locking in for Amethyst
okay?
Steel,
All right.
I think, but I feel like I would not be upset because I've been turned into a believer that Amethyst Amber might take it all tomorrow.
I'm telling you, this Lanterns deck has some spicy stuff that it can do.
It does, yeah. Ramp Light is. I'm a believer now. I might be playing it next week at Set Champs.
Hey,
If you're
there you
someone
go.
local to me, you didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that. You know what deck I am interested in trying out actually after watching some of the games today is Sapphire Steel. I think the Sapphire Steel deck looked super fun and that might be one.
It
I don't know for
did.
set champs, but it looked
There,
fun. I want to
there
try
were
it.
plenty of princesses. I can get behind it too. We saw, especially that Jasmine shift on turn
Yes.
two. Like
Oh, that
that
was
is,
epic.
that
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Simply
Well,
amazing.
I think we're gonna wrap it up here, Kim, but it's been so much fun casting with
It
you.
was so much fun. Like I said, call me Cinderella because this was a dream come true. So excited to be casting some more tomorrow. And yeah, I think we're
Yeah.
signing off for the night.
Yeah, so shout out to everyone at Top Cut Games and all the players who came out. I know they had players from all across Arizona, New Mexico, California, all over. So shout out to everyone who was
Texas,
there,
yeah.
Texas, yeah, and to all of the lore guides and event
Yes.
staff who helped make it happen. I know that there's going to be lots more fun tomorrow. Oh, and from Mexico. Wow,
Wow, this
amazing.
is that's so cool. I hope maybe tomorrow we can get like, we have the meta breakdown, but maybe we can get one of
Yes.
those like little maps that are like, okay, mark
Oh
like
yeah, like
where
where
everyone
people came
traveled
from.
from.
Yes, yeah.
Just adding more
Well,
stuff for production to do. Sorry.
sorry, production. Yeah, top eight is starting tomorrow early in the morning, 7 a.m. Mountain
Mountain time.
time.
So us for
So
the West Coast, that is 6 a.m. in the morning.
yes, bright
I
and
will be I will
early.
be tuned in my pajamas that early.
There you go. And I'm hoping to see, my I put my money behind the Emerald Sapphire deck for the CCQ because why, right? That's the last winning horse that we saw last
Hmm.
weekend at DLC Richmond. So that's what I'm back in. So I cannot wait to see how that goes. So we'll be back here. It is here on the Lorcana Muses channel. Thanks also shout out to Lorcana Muses. They are awesome. And thank
Hmm.
you all for tuning in and supporting the CCQ. And we will see you all back here, 7 a.m. Mountain Time.